Next matter is State versus, did we take care of Tracy Phillips?
No, Your Honor, we have not.
All right. Counsel, that reflects a summons. Does your file reflect a service? Finds Mr. Phillips is not here. 9 o'clock docket, it's 12.
It does, Your Honor. The return on the summons that I have in my file would appear to indicate residential service on a third party, seemingly a roommate, back in June.
All right, I'm going to issue a warrant, not a bench warrant, but a warrant for, as there's already been an attempt to get service. It's been unsuccessful. Perhaps it was successful and blown off, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to set bond at 1,000 cash or surety.
Very good, Your Honor.
2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Miss Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Let's see. September 4th, the defendant failed to appear. Miss Phillips, I trust you posted that $1,000 cash or surety bond.
Right from the start, Tracy's $1,000 cash bond shows she's already on the hook financially, but the charges stack up fast. Driving without proper tags, no insurance, and failure to update her address. These might sound like minor traffic infractions, but in court, each carries real consequences, fines, possible jail time, and a record. Already the tension is building because she's a pro se defendant navigating all of this alone. The stakes are higher than she might realize.
Well, yes, I didn't have a choice.
Right. Well, you could have stayed in jail, but that's not a very good choice. All right. We are showing in count 1 that you were driving, the state's alleging you were driving without a tag or an expired tag, November 8th of 23. And then that the vehicle not only had an expired tag, but a plate was on there that wasn't assigned to it.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
with court certification, I am showing that an amended information was filed back in June of 2024.
Okay, let me go off of that one then. Is this the case where she was here and there were allegations of identity theft or something? I remember her name associated with that. That case was dismissed, wasn't it?
Your Honor, I would need to review my notes further, but the state's understanding is that is an unrelated matter.
Unrelated. Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Phillips, there is an amended information, as counsel said, that was filed June 12th of 2024. And that, the official charging document that you're on today, alleges in count 1 that you were on November 8th, 2023 in Butler County operating a motor vehicle on a highway of this state while displayed was a license plate or registration decal other than the one assigned. As charged, this is an unclassified misdemeanor and it carries a fine up to $2,500 and a sentence of 30 days to 6 months. Failure to register, count 2 was dismissed by the state on June 11, 2024. Then in count 3, you're accused of operating that vehicle without insurance or at least being able to provide proof. That is as charged, a B non-person misdemeanor. If convicted, there is a $300 fine up to $1,000 and up to 6 months in the county jail. Count 4 alleges that you apparently moved from the address given when you applied for and received your Kansas driver's license, and you failed to notify the Division of Motor Vehicles of the new address within 10 days after moving. This charge is an unclassified misdemeanor, which typically carries a fine up to $500 and a possible sentence up to 30 days. I don't know what your history is. I don't know if you.
That should have also been dropped, because I brought that in. I did that over the internet.
I'm sorry, what did you bring in?
I dropped that, I did that over the internet. My change of address and had brought that in. The date that was on my actual ticket that the officer gave me, I came in on that date. There was no court date.
Here's the kicker. Tracy claims she can hire an attorney, but none will take her case in Butler County. This is a classic dilemma for pro se defendants, knowing your rights, wanting representation, but facing real-world limitations. Judge Webster wisely encourages her to at least fill out the court-appointed form as a backup, showing how procedural safeguards exist even when chaos hits the courtroom. This moment sets up a key theme: navigating bureaucracy versus personal conviction.
I brought in that change of address then.
Are you going to want an attorney to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you going to be able to hire an attorney, or do you need to apply for counsel?
I can try and hire an attorney.
You think you have the means to do so? Okay, well, if you don't, please get an application. You might take an application with you in case you don't. Like maybe you get out there and you find out that they're more expensive than you thought or something like that. So while you're here in the courthouse, it doesn't hurt to take a form with you. And if you need a court appointed, get that back to me soon. Don't wait till your next court date.
Sure.
Because unfortunately, the next attorney docket traffic date, Destiny, is that April 16th also?
No, Your Honor, that would be March 17th.
Oh, okay. March 17th. You need to be back here March 17th. That's St. Patrick's Day. So March 17th at 9 a.m. with your attorney ready to proceed.
Mark your calendars. March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. Tracy must appear, attorney or not. And this is where the tension spikes. Past missed appearances loom large, and Judge Webster is crystal clear. The trial moves forward no matter what. For viewers, this is a textbook example of how courts balance defendant rights with procedural timelines. Will Tracy show up? Will her attorney? The suspense is real, and we're just getting started.
She's pro se.
Okay. We are on the record in 23 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier for the state. Defendant Tracy Phillips appears in person and pro se. Miss Phillips, this is, of course, not your first appearance. That was back September 4th. And you failed to appear at that hearing. Then you were here January 8th. And you wanted to hire an attorney. You were informed if you were able to hire, you needed to fill out an application, which apparently you did not do.
Not for a public defender, no.
So how do you want to proceed on these 4 traffic charges: driving without tag, driving without tag displayed, driving without insurance, and driving without changing your address or phone or no?
Yeah, I changed my address. I wasn't driving this vehicle. I mean, I drive a company truck.
All right, so you're pleading not guilty. You want this set
Yes,
for
ma'am.
trial?
Yes, I do.
And are you going to have an attorney represent you?
I'm going to try to. I'm trying to find an attorney.
Okay, but you don't want to apply for court appointed, is that right?
No, I don't. Last one threw me under the bus. I prefer not to do that.
Okay, we're going to go to trial at 1:30 on what's your next trial date?
Boom! Tracy pleads not guilty and refuses court-appointed counsel. This is bold or reckless, depending on your perspective. Representing yourself puts her in control, yes, but also leaves her vulnerable to the state's strategy. Every misstep could mean harsher penalties. Watch closely, because this decision sets the stage for courtroom drama. Miscommunication, procedural missteps, and the kind of chaos that makes legal commentary so addictive.
May 14th.
May 14th at 1:30. You must be back here. You can either be in person or by Zoom, May 13th or May 14th at 1:30.
Okay.
But with or without counsel, we're going to take this to trial because
Not a problem.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. You're excused at this time.
Thank you, gentlemen.
She is a pro se defendant in court security. Now, Ms. Phillips, you're charged, we're not on the record yet, but Ms. Phillips, you're charged with a tag violation, another form of tag violation,
What?
no liability insurance, and not changing your address. We are set for trial. Are you wanting to have a trial on that, Ms. Phillips, or do you want to try to talk to the county attorney and come to a resolution? What's your plan on this, since you're representing yourself?
I'm sorry, I just assume be done with it. I mean, I can talk to the county attorney. I don't have an issue with that as well. I guess I'm not understanding why you don't have my change of address.
Well,
That
I
was
don't
done
get,
over
I
the
don't
internet?
get that. I don't
Okay.
get that. It goes to Topeka Department of Revenue. It's for your
Well,
driver's license.
Yes, well, it was brought in and should have been added to the long time ago when I first got the ticket.
Okay, but it's not like insure. Well, all right, we'll say that. Right now, we are on the record in 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. Jared Regier appearing for the state. The defendant, Ms. Phillips, appears in person and pro se. Ms. Phillips, I understand that you're wanting to represent yourself on this matter. Is that correct?
Well, I don't have a choice.
Well, you have had the opportunity since November 8th of 23 to either
Yes, ma'am,
hire
I
an
did.
attorney
To
or
hire an
apply.
attorney. Nobody wants to take my case.
All right. And if you cannot afford an attorney, you've had
It's not about not affording it. Because I have to need a hand to an attorney. Nobody wants to take my case to deal with Butler County is the problem.
All right. The alternative, if you could not afford it, you could have applied for court appointed. Am I correctly understanding you to say, though, that you could afford it, you just couldn't find an attorney to take the case?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
All right. And so you're going to represent yourself today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Are we going by common law or?
This is where the legal clash gets almost absurd. Tracy wants to argue common law or admiralty law, anything but Kansas statutes. Judge Webster patiently reminds her, Kansas law governs here. No Narnia law, no straw man loopholes, just statutory code. For viewers, it's fascinating to see how courts handle unconventional legal theories, respectful, procedural, and grounded in the rule of law. This is a teaching moment for anyone tempted to represent themselves with creative but non-existent legal frameworks.
Well, we're going by statutory law in the state of Kansas. So
and if this is a trial, why is there no jury?
This is not a jury trial because it was set for bench trial. You didn't ask for a jury trial.
I didn't consent to any of this, but.
All right. So you want to proceed with trial, or did you want to try to negotiate an outcome with the prosecutor?
I can speak with the prosecutor.
Well, I'm not trying to talk you into it. I'm just trying to afford you the opportunity that an attorney would take if he represented
I
you.
understand. I understand.
All right. So what is your wish? Do you want, if he's willing to talk to you and try, if he's willing to consider a negotiation, are you wanting to do that?
Sure. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Mr. Regier, when I ask you this, I don't mean to suggest you have to, or that there'll be consequences if you don't. But as I said, I just want to afford the defendant the opportunity, but that's subject to if you want to do it. So do you want to take the time, or are you willing to take the time to visit with her, or do you think there's any productive outcome possible from that?
Your Honor, at this time, the state would request clarification from the court whether it is finding that the defendant is representing herself and has appropriately waived her right to counsel. Based off of prior statements made on the record today, there does appear to be, if the court will pardon the conjecture, a certain degree of ambiguity on that point, and the state would be requesting a formal finding on the record, which would appear to be most procedurally appropriate.
All right, is the officer still there with you, Miss Phillips?
I am.
Mhm.
Could you provide her with a written waiver of counsel to read?
I can.
Thank you. Let me know when she has that.
Things get spicy. Tracy refuses to sign the waiver, complicating matters for the DA. Here, ethics collide with procedure. The prosecutor can't negotiate until the defendant knowingly waives her rights. It's a delicate dance. The courtroom isn't just about rules. It's about timing, consent, and communication. For the audience, this is a perfect peek into how small decisions can dramatically change the flow of a trial.
Basically, Miss Phillips, I believe you'll find it to be a brief written statement for you to look over to make sure that you understand your rights concerning an attorney and that you know them and that in spite of the rights, you want to waive them and proceed.
Oh, well, I can
But you-
already tell you, no, I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
You're not going to waive your right to an attorney?
No, I'm not going to do that.
Then what are you going to do? I don't see an attorney.
No, ma'am, you don't, but that doesn't stop me from speaking with the DA if he is more than willing to.
Well, he doesn't want to do it until he makes sure that you are knowingly waiving your rights.
Because then I'm
And-
giving up a right to speak. That makes no sense, Your Honor. Truly.
Independent of whether you
If you
talk to
want-
him
if
or
you-
not. Do
I'm sorry?
you want it, regardless of whether you talk to him or not, do you want an attorney?
Well, he said himself, he didn't want, he wasn't willing to until I signed this waiver,
That's right,
waiving my right. He
because
didn't want to speak to me until then.
if you're going to go out and get an attorney, he has to ethically go through the attorney. And that's why he is following his conscience on the ethical issue
Okay.
and his obligations.
This whole thing is an ethical issue, ma'am. See,
You're muted. Deputy Wise, you muted?
That was me. I just explained to her what this waiver meant so that the attorney could talk to her.
All right, well, be careful giving her legal advice. I think it could,
it
I am.
wasn't. It was very simple.
I just tell her about
It
the
was
form.
layman's terms.
okay.
You need me
Well-
to sign this?
Yes, put your name there and sign it there for me.
Only if you believe
Do I
you
need-
understand. Ms.
Yep,
Phillips?
I understand. Do I need to sign it in my straw man name or my birth name?
Well,
Real.
your legal name.
Well, because that's two separate things.
Your legal name is separate from what?
The straw man that the government has created.
Now we hit the identity drama. Tracy insists her straw man name is separate from her legal identity. Judge Webster, armed with patience and authority, cuts through the confusion. Sign with your legal name. This is a classic sovereign citizen maneuver, and it's a reminder that personal beliefs, however fervent, don't override legal documents. The tension here is almost cinematic. You can practically feel the courtroom holding its breath.
That's not the name your parents gave you that's on your driver's license?
No, that's not grammatically correct. That is not my given name on my driver's license.
All right. What name did your parents give you?
Tracy Lynn Phillips.
All right. And that's on your birth certificate?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's not the name on your
The
driver's
one the
license?
government created.
That's not the name on your driver's license? Tracy Lynn Phillips
No,
is not
it's
the name?
not. It's not the same one.
All right. What's the name on your driver's license?
Tracy Phillips.
Just Tracy Phillips? They took off the
That isn't,
Lynn?
the one on the driver's license is not grammatically correct, ma'am.
All right. How is it not correct?
It's all in capitals.
Oh,
That's
I
not
see.
grammatically correct.
I see. Okay, I see where we're going. All right.
So So I need to know, ma'am, am I supposed to put the one that's in all capitals? That's on my driver's license
I want
on
you-
here? And then
I want
sign
you-
it
Miss,
as the entity to Tracy Lynn
I'm about ready
Phillips?
to run out of my patience with you. You need to settle
Okay.
down.
I'm
and
just
be
asking a question. I'm
You're-
just asking a question.
No, you're not. You're not
I'm
just
not
asking
disrupting
questions.
anything. I simply asked a question.
Look, Miss Phillips, you see that officer sitting next to you?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you know I have the authority to tell him to put you into custody until you're ready to cooperate? Now, I don't want to do that, but you're being
I don't-
belligerent and difficult in this court's opinion.
I don't understand what you're wanting from me. I'm really not being difficult.
All
I
right, I
simply
want
asked-
you to
I
stop
simply asked-
talking for a moment, and I want you to tell me, did you read the form in front of you?
Yes, ma'am, I did read the form.
And you signed the form? No, you haven't signed it because you don't know what
I
name
have
to
it
use.
because I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to, what name am I supposed
I
to add
want
the one
you
that's in
to
capitals?
sign, I want
Or
you to
mine.
sign your legal name.
Whoa. Judge Webster lays down the law. The officer next to Tracy could take her into custody if she refuses to cooperate. The stakes just got real. This is not a TV stunt. It's a real enforcement tool used judiciously to maintain order. For the audience, this is a lesson in courtroom power dynamics. The judge sets the rules, and defiance has immediate consequences. Drama level, high.
Put first name up here, or your name up here.
Deputy, please don't help her. I know you mean well, but I'm afraid that it could become a problem for you and her and me both. Or all
I just
three.
showing her to where to write her name in the slot. So
I know, but I don't think you ought to be doing that. Thank you. I know you
There you
mean
go.
well. All right. So, do you have any questions about the document you just signed?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. And you do know that you can hire an attorney? Yes or no?
I understand.
And do you understand if you could not afford an attorney, you could apply and see if one could be appointed? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
And knowing that those two facts, you are waiving your right to counsel and representing yourself today. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to counsel today on the record, both in writing and in oral fashion. Now, with that being said, Mr. Regier, I'll just open it up to whether or not you want to attempt any kind of negotiation with her, or if you want to proceed with the trial that we have scheduled and the witness that you have subpoenaed and appears today.
One moment, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this juncture, what I would tell the court is that for purposes of resolving this case short of trial, if the defendant pleads as charged to all charges, the state would be prepared to recommend.
Finally, the paperwork and oral statements are aligned. Tracy knowingly waives her right to counsel. This is a turning point. She's officially navigating the trial alone. For anyone watching, this moment underlines the risks and responsibilities of self-representation. Knowledge of procedure, clarity of rights, and courtroom etiquette suddenly become life or death for the outcome. This is why pro se defendants often face uphill battles.
The state does not have anything further to add at this time. The state would further be recommending, in addition to non-reporting probation, underlying sentences, court costs, and fines.
All right, Mr. Phillips. That's all he's going to say to you. Apparently, he's not going to meet with you privately,
That's fine.
but he is saying that he would recommend non-reporting probation if you plead as charged. So how do you want to proceed?
No,
Do you want
I'm sorry.
to proceed with your trial then?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Are there any
I don't
opening
agree with that.
statements? You don't agree with his offer?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay.
I would like to ask the officer if he has video of that day.
Now, things get wild. Tracy asks about video evidence, signaling she wants to cross-examine the heart of trial procedure. But without proper preparation or counsel, she's skating on thin ice. This is where experience and strategy really matter. Missteps here could turn a non-reporting probation offer into full penalties. Courtroom suspense. Folks, this is the drama that keeps us glued to the screen.
In 2023 TR 3395, State of Kansas versus Tracy Lynn Phillips. All parties appearing as before. Jared Regier for the state. The defendant, Tracy Lynn Phillips, in person and pro se, having signed a waiver of counsel and orally waived right to counsel as well, both on the record. And we are ready to start the bench trial with Master Trooper Kane ready to testify, it looks like. But before he does, any opening statement, Ms. Regier?
Judge, can I say one
Yes.
thing? She took back that.
Go ahead, Deputy.
She took back that waiver, so that makes a difference.
All right, where's your attorney? Who's going to represent you?
We've already discussed that.
Well, you signed a written waiver. What do you mean you take it back? Do you mean you want to proceed with an attorney? You either have an attorney or you don't. Ms.
I don't know,
Phillips.
Your Honor.
Yes.
This whole thing, I don't even know what to do. I have tried to hire an attorney. I do not want a court appointed. Was thrown under the bus last time. I don't even understand why I have this ticket to begin with.
Well, that an attorney could help with that.
It's ridiculous.
But you have, I don't recall you gave me any indication before that we were going to have the issues today that we're having.
Because I was never allowed to say anything. There were issues, case in point, going to jail twice on a warrant, Mr. Reiger, that wasn't me. Quite obviously.
Is this still the same case that you said initially back in, a couple of years ago, it wasn't you?
Why I was initially here when I saw you the first time? Yes, that most certainly wasn't me. I'm not a 6-foot black man.
Okay. All right, Ms.
Apparently,
Phillips,
that's
we
what
need
it
to get on
says.
with-
That's what it says on the warrant. That's what it says on the warrant.
We need to get on with this hearing one way or the other. You have waived your right
I'm going to find an
counsel
attorney
now.
then.
Tracy insists she'll find an attorney, but history suggests otherwise. Previous missed appearances and unaccepted attorneys show the complexity of her situation. This is where pro se representation intersects with reality. Intentions, past actions, and local legal limitations collide. For the audience, it's both educational and frustrating, a reminder that the legal system is not flexible to personal whims.
You will if I continue this to allow you to do so, because this case has gotten some age on it. It's a
Ma'am, it
2023 case.
Yes.
It's a 2023 case. Now, don't talk over me.
Just soon be
Stop.
done with it.
Stop. It's a 2023 case, and you failed to appear several times.
No, I did not,
And then-
ma'am. I did not fail to appear.
And we've been through this issue of the attorney for a while now. And by the way, I do show you failed to appear September 4th, 2024, and this is not open to debate or further discussion on that issue. The court's taking judicial notice of its own records. Now, you've had since the first appearance, September 4th, if you'd been here, but we weren't able to get you here until January 8th. And you told us you were going to hire an attorney, but that you were unable to find one, apparently. And there was discussion about you filling out an application for court appointed. So all of this, and that was back in January, and then we were going to come back in March, and we did. And that's when it was set for bench trial. But Mr. Regier, is this the continuation of that first case? Because the notes aren't gelling with what I recall in that other case.
One moment, Your Honor.
I think that was this 2019 case that was dismissed. Well, she was dismissed with one count of guilty to speeding, maybe. One of us may be confused on this because I show that you had a 2019 TR 1413. You were operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. That charge was dismissed in exchange for your plea of guilty to speeding.
No.
Well, that's what your record says. And
No.
that's what I'm thinking, that maybe you're running the two together. But anyway, Mr.
I
Regier,
I never pled on that case.
All right. Well, maybe you were found guilty at trial, but it looks like you
No,
pled.
it never went to trial. Mr. Riger was supposed to wipe that one and the other one off because it was obvious that it wasn't me. I have never lived in Topeka in my life.
All right.
That's the one you're talking about.
Mr. Regier, I'm ready to go to trial.
Your Honor,
Are you ready?
Your Honor, I believe the court had previously made reference to Butler County 19 TR 1413. The state's records indicate that there was a plea of guilty in 2019 to one count of speeding. And the state, what I would also tell the court is in the current case, actually on the docket today, 23 TR 3395, the state is prepared to proceed to trial.
All right.
And Your Honor, as a preliminary matter, is the court finding that the defendant has revoked her waiver of counsel in light of the statements on the record?
Well, I tell you, we've been all over the board on that, Miss Phillips.
I don't even have the 19.
Miss Phillips,
Yes,
this is your final answer that I'm wanting here. We're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
stick with it. Are you waiving your right to an attorney
No,
or
ma'am,
are
I'm
you
not.
not?
No,
All
ma'am.
right. Now, you said you've talked to attorneys. None of them will take your case in
Yes,
Butler
ma'am.
County. What can you tell me that will be different if I continue this to allow you to find an attorney if none of them will work in Butler County?
I'm going to go across the street and speak with the one attorney that I haven't spoken with. And I'm sorry,
Who will that be?
Gail Jensen.
Does he expect you today?
No, ma'am, he does not.
And do you have any reason to believe he would take your case? Because I understood he was retired or trying to be retired.
Can I give you a guarantee that he will?
I'm not asking
take
for
my
a
case.
guarantee. I said, do you have reason to believe he'll take your case?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Yeah. Oh, yes, ma'am. I do.
Okay. You have a history or something with him that makes you think that?
Yes, ma'am.
And what if he says no? Then what will you do?
Well, then I will get a recommendation.
And here we close on uncertainty. If Tracy's final attorney option refuses, what now? The video leaves us hanging, perfectly setting up the next dramatic courtroom session. For viewers, this is suspense-building mastery. Legal procedures, personal persistence, and courtroom realities collide, leaving us eager to see the resolution. The takeaway? In court, preparation, counsel, and respect for procedure are everything